Hey guys, how's it going? So it's Sir William of York here, and we're doing something a little bit different today. So we are just doing a VOD review of ourselves. We're doing a VOD review. We were on Domisum Replay, which is a replay channel that basically compiles some of the best Kassadins in the world. So we're kind of happy, obviously, that they put us on here. In terms of the game that's on here, I actually don't think it's really like the best game or the highest quality game. I don't think I played very well, but I think it's important to review these things, and it made me realize I need to spend a little bit more time reviewing than I have been, right? So in terms of our runes, we did pretty standard stuff. I go back and forth between Jack of all trades and Cosmic Insight. I think they're both good, but this is basically every single game. Magical Foot or Cashback. Sometimes I move around. Reason we went this rune right here is just because, I don't know, I think Tenacity's pretty good this game. So they have stun, root, stun, and then I can also potentially get stunned by Fiora depending on what's going on in the game, so Tenacity doesn't hurt. In terms of this matchup, I don't know. Like, Lux is a weird matchup. I don't play it enough. And a lot of the Lux players, there are two types of Lux players. There are Lux players that are like, I'm just going to ult the wave, play for CS, and basically void the laning phase. And then there's the Lux player that goes Dark Harvest, Ignite, and I'm thinking he's going to be like the most unhinged Lux player I've seen in a while. Like playing very aggressive, being up in my face, right? So I'm just trying to get as much last hits as I can in the early game and stay healthy, right? That's the biggest thing you want to prioritize as Kassadin is your HP in the early game and trying to get as much CS and XP as possible. So we get the first three casters. We walk up for it because we feel very safe after she burns her E, right? So a lot of damage from Lux comes from her passive and getting auto-attacked by that. When she uses her abilities and she doesn't have things to hit you with, her passive can't be procced anymore. And so you feel pretty good about walking up. Now, the reason I gave that minion is because I don't want to take a shit ton of damage for it, basically. I feel like there's a sequence where I could have gotten those minions if I'd played that a little bit better. Now, we can't push this out fast enough. We saw her walk and go screw with the Nefiri. We just kind of want to slow push it so the wave is on our side for as long as possible. That was a terrible usage of E. Did not get the CS there. Okay, now we have no cooldown, so we can't really walk up. She used her E. So what we do there is we take a little bit of an aggressive trade. Even though we get hit by the root, we're able to dodge her E, which is where a lot of her damage comes from, right? And she can only get one proc of her passive. She gets into melee range of us. So we're able to take a favorable trade, because we can hit her with 3 abilities at that point. She can hit her with her Q and her passive, and we have minions beating down her ass. So that's honestly a pretty good trade. In terms of a couple points in Q versus just maxing straight E in this game, I don't know. I've been experimenting a little bit with my max order. I end up going straight E for a couple of reasons this game. One, the only way I'm ever really killing Lux is off of the slow, right? So you want the slow to be as high level as possible. The other thing is if I get ganked, we have no real setup aside from my slow, right? It's just Nefiri, so Nefiri doesn't possess any CC. And I was watching what was going on there. I was going to kill her if she went through river, but she reacted and went up, and she still ended up dying, the Fiora. But yeah, Nefiri doesn't possess any CC, so it's going to be hard to kill her off of a gank. That's just a, you know, just in case thing. The other thing is the E gives us wave clear, which allows us to keep up with her. Which is pretty important because even if she's an unhinged Lux player, if she gets a whiff of the fact that I'm probably not going to die in this lane, we use the Q there to block the damage, and we just take too much damage there, honestly. Now, we trade a little bit of HP for the fact that the wave's now going to push in faster, so we can get a little bit more CS. The reason it's going to push in faster is because when she autos me like that, I missed that minion, that sucks. When she autos me like that, my wave starts hitting her, and her wave is hitting my wave. So they die faster. Right, so it kind of broke the slight stalemate that was in the middle of the lane. And I was just baiting to get her to push faster so I could kind of securely get this wave. I don't know. I don't think I'm really under any kill threat here. I just want to base ASAP. Now, Lux made a mistake using her abilities like that because it makes it so it takes her a long time for her to push the wave now because she has to wait for them to come off of cooldown. Versus if she had used the abilities on the wave, she could have instantly pushed it. So now we don't miss too much for this base. I think we miss like, what, one caster? Versus we probably could have missed all 3 melees. I should have E'd there. I don't know. The problem with using E like that is if I E there, I'm not going to have it to push the wave if I want to. Now, there's a couple schools of thought here. If I want to, in the meantime, deny her as much... Wow, that was a terrible way to wave clear. As much EXP as possible. There's no real reason for me to push this wave. The reason is because it's going to get into tower, and then the cannon minion is going to hold it because it takes forever to die to the tower. However, my thought process and why I pushed it is... Pantheon's on Dragon and my team's rotating up, so I wanted to see what we could do there. Now, in hindsight, I don't think this is the greatest play because our jungler is topside. So that means that this play is, if everyone rotates, it's a losing play for us. Right, our jungler is coming, but he's going to be late to the play at this point. Lux tries to hold a freeze in mid lane too, which is kind of annoying. She doesn't end up, I don't think, holding it for very long because we... break it. She doesn't really have any threat on us because she has to land a full combo to kill us. And our champ's very slippery. So just like that, we walk the minions in. Walk over here just to see what's going on. Now, I don't know if Pantheon stuns up, and I want to be very careful of getting flash stun. So what I do there is she uses her E. So again, Luxie is the ability she maxes first. So this is a really important thing in this matchup. You want to abuse her E cooldown. So I ult forward and EQ because even if she hits me with a binding, the most she's going to do, she'll Q me and then auto. Maybe she'll use her ultimate, but if she uses her ultimate, I'm just going to run away, right? It's her ult goes on CD then, and she's basically just ulting for a trade. Now, I take too much damage. I'm actually surprised at the amount of damage I took from just her Q, considering she doesn't max that ability. In terms of the CS, I mean, it's a little bit of a rough lane. We missed a lot, and I mean a lot of free CS, like watching the lane back. This is kind of what I mean, where I don't think I played this whole lane like shit, in my opinion. Like that. But she's going to slow push into us. We're just going to try and stay healthy. Use Q there. Alright. And now this is probably one of the most deranged deaths I've ever seen in my life from this Lux player. I'm just going to let this play out. I don't have words for it. I believe the solo kill that I get on her is right now. Yep. So, I don't know. I think she was anticipating me walking back. So she flashes forward. So that way she can be in auto range. But what ends up happening is she flashes into tower range, which allows me to get my W off and dodge her E. She takes a tower shot, and I can W ults. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I did anything special there. I think that was a horrific misplay by the Lux. And up until this point in the lane, she was kind of beating my ass in lane phase. You can see I'm way down in CS. A lot of it was my own doing. But that's how the cookie crumbles. Sometimes you just get free kills. So now we rotate up to top side. And I did a bad E here. I think I had damage. I had obviously damage to kill the Pantheon without E, so I needed to hold the E for Fiora, because if I hold the E for Fiora, she does not get away here. So it kind of sucks, but it's what it is. It happens. But we end up rotating up. We get a very winning play for our team, and now we're suddenly in a pretty good spot, right? Even though we're behind 1v1. The wave actually pushed into Lux, crashed, it is now slow pushing back towards me, which is almost like an ideal scenario, right? Because that means Lux missed an entire wave, and the wave's going to start pushing back towards me, and if she's not in the lane, the longer she's not in the lane, the worse it is for her. Because as the wave starts slow pushing towards me, her minions are going to kill my minions, and her wave's going to get bigger and bigger, and as long as I can collect that, that's a bigger XP difference between us. So you can see I'm level 8. After I kill this minion, I'm going to be level 9. Right? And I still have 3 minions I haven't killed, so we have a pretty good XP lead on her now. You can see she killed that entire wave, and she's still not level 9. And in terms of the build we've been doing, so I still enjoy Roa. I still think it's I think it's fine if you play around it. I've just been experimenting with the other build path to see what I like more, because there's so many other people who play the full AP build. I think it's useful to kind of, try shit out. The other reason is it's just fun to try new shit. I think I take a base here because I have lost, because I have Malignance. No, I don't. Okay. I just keep the wave under tower, so that way we can punish her if she roams. And it looks like we're going to rotate down for a play. Doesn't look like it's going well, so I head back towards mid. So the problem with ulting into those 3 people is they have a tremendous amount of damage and CC. They also have a Bard with Guardian. So even if I a Lucian with Barrier, so I either need to catch them unawares or know that I can kill someone in order to ult into those 3 people. Looking back, it was pretty obvious that she was going to Q there, because she's very scared. I should have tried to ult over the Q and trade with her, honestly. We're just basically pushing waves, trading back and forth. I think I TP top here to deny some plates, yeah. So this is something I do that I don't always notice other people doing, but a lot of times I'll use my TP in laning phase to go pick up dropped waves. And the reason that's good is because, well, the first part of it is you're denying someone plates a lot of the time, but the second part is you're getting XP that would otherwise be lost for your team, right? So Lux does get a shove on mid. That's the shitty thing about doing it versus a high wave clear champ. And looking back at this situation, I could have taken plates. Sorry. I don't really know why I didn't. I think it would have been completely fine too, because we know Fiora has to base here. And we know... Well, I don't know whether or not she has TP or anything like that, but it would have been easy for us to run away from Fiora. Now, what we do instead is we go bot lane, which is a little bit scuffed, but this whole sequence allows Urgot to trade plates on mid. He can then rotate to top, get the top wave, right? The main thing we want to be careful of is just getting clipped by CC. right? And as you can see, this is kind of what I mean when I say Braum can be really annoying with Illusion, because it's essentially point and click CC. All the Braum really has to do is auto you, and then Lucian can almost instantly proc the passive and stun you. Yeah, so we basically went down to hold the turret so we don't end up losing it. We'll base now. And go mid. Or do we go top here? No, we go mid. Because Nefiri's top. But yeah, all in all, I mean, we're feeling pretty good about this game. We're scaling pretty evenly. I think overall, our champ does pretty well into that team once they burn a couple abilities. Right, the only thing we have to be scared of is getting locked down. Right. But a root's not the greatest CC versus us because we can just build Zhonya's and then the root's kind of useless. That range is crazy. Okay. And when I walk up like that, I'm kind of hovering my ult. Just in case there's a ward there and Lux wants to try and snipe me from fog. Alright. Now, playing versus Lux is a fun experience. It's not the most interactive unless she oversteps. I get a trade-off right there, but nothing too interesting comes from it. I'm going to go rotate up. And Urgot, unfortunately, dies anyway. So that's what I mean about ulting over it when you're looking to trade onto her. But Lux is just too long range. I think there's a case for, yeah, just hard shoving the wave here and then going top. I don't know what Nefiri was doing. Our Nefiri was pretty auto-filled, I believe, if I remember correctly. So I was just happy that he didn't run it down on repeat. But made some questionable decisions this game. I think he was like an ADC main or something. I gotta remember what role he said he played. I didn't even see what happened. Did she got chunked? Oh. So I guess she got chunked from Nefiri and she stayed in the lane, so I just walked up and flashed on her. Sucks we're gonna lose the cannon, but oh, we don't end up losing it. Our team still gets it. So we're gonna base and look to go side lane here. I walk back to base because if I stay there, I'm probably gonna get canceled or like Pantheon W'd over the wall if anyone sweeps. I TP back. I don't know that we can do anything any longer in this fight, right? This is just more, I want to be bot lane likely anyway. Oh, this is kind of a funny play, actually. So, they get mid tower, Braum takes the Herald, and when Braum's in the Herald, he can't peel for the Lucian. So we get a free kill there. I saw that and I was like, what are you doing, bro? Like, I get it, but if anyone's going in the Herald, you want to send the Lucian in the Herald because he's basically invulnerable when he's in the Herald. Now, I probably should be going bot lane to defend tier 2 here. Alright, instead I look for a play, and we do end up killing this guy, but the result of the play is just stupidity. As you can see, I'm taking tower shots, I'm getting hit by every ability, and I basically just die for free. So this was a really like game losing play potentially. For a couple reasons. Like, in addition to the fact that I get a death here, I'm also losing CS and XP on the bot lane, and Fiora is getting 2 towers, right? And one of those is a side lane tower, which give her like a bajillion gold. So you can see, actually this demonstrates it pretty well. So before this play, we had about a 1k gold lead, which isn't the biggest gold lead, right? It's been a very back and forth game. They've kind of been getting a lot of towers. And after this play, the gold is basically completely even, right? So this is a pretty good example. I talked to a lot of Kassadins, right? They'll send me their OPGG, and they have like 20 kills or something, and they're like, yeah, I just can't carry my teammates. Like, I don't understand what's happening. Like, I get so many kills, and I look at their stats, and it's like 20 kills, 10 deaths, right? The kills are a wonderful thing, but as Kassadin, you really need to value your life, and losing and dying mid-game is probably one of the worst decisions you can make. So a really common play pattern I've seen on Kassadin is someone will be playing Kassadin, and they'll get really fed in lane or from roaming, and then they'll go to a side lane and they'll try and 1v1 a bruiser in like the worst way you possibly can. And they'll be like, I don't understand, I'm 10 kills, how did I not just instantly delete this guy? And it's like, bruisers just counter you. It's the nature of their champions. You gotta play smart, right? So a lot of times, I think the better play is playing for side lanes and trying to shut down the bruisers, right? This Fiora right now is massive. She got both side lane tier 2s, so she literally got like 2k gold in the side in 3 minutes. You can see we went from being a 1k ahead to 1k down, a little over 1k down in the span of literally like 3 to 5 minutes. And that was all because of my death top lane when I should have been bot lane clearing the wave. Now, Otacon is like one of the biggest baits I've ever seen. I think it's good, but I don't think it's nearly as good as it was. I don't know. What I see a lot happen on Otacon is it's just like the team that's winning ends up getting it. Or there's a team, like in games like this where it's even, there's a team that's like slightly behind or they're on par with each other that starts up Otacon and then just gets one shot on Otacon because it shreds your resistances so much. Now I'm just sitting in this brush trying to see if the Lux is going to walk up. I don't think she does. She definitely had vision of me too because of that brush. So I think I just clear the wave. Probably should hold this wave here and wait for the other wave to come and then clear both of them together. Be the safer thing to do. Yeah. Absolutely. There we go. Beautiful. We did basically catch up on CS, so that's a good thing. Yeah, but yeah, in terms of our game plan this game, I mean, I feel like we should just win team fights with the way our comps play out, as long as we have everyone present, right? We have a strong front line, we have a Smolder who's fed. Smolder can just shred through people. I think I walk up here and get the blue buff. If we play for side lanes, the Fiora is just going to kind of destroy us, right? So what ends up happening here is the Fiora actually TPs. So it's now a losing fight if I TP. And you could say, like, Will, why didn't you TP here? And the reason is because even if I TP here, this play is a 5v4. Right? So instead of TPing into an already losing situation because our top laner died, I'm just going to push side and try and trade something off because there's not really anything I can do to change the outcome of the play in bot lane. Right? So I just push up side lane Hopefully I get the tier 2. I don't think I actually take it, yeah. This was a mistake. I could have definitely gotten that tier 2 tower and gotten out. Like, I don't know. Sometimes, this is probably one of my weaknesses as a player, so I'm so scared of dying on side lane that... What did that just say? Level 16 Q? Oh, it's because I got the extra point from Time Warp Tonic, so it thinks I've done 16 skill points at this point. That's funny. But yeah, I don't know. I 100% should have played for that tower there. It was free gold, and that was just a mistake. I get too scared of getting caught sometimes when there's no way I could realistically get caught. I'm Kassadin on a side lane. It can run away from almost any situation, so I should have taken that. I mean, it's still good to get the wave in, because they're losing gold and EXP, but should 100% have been a free tower, or a free tier 2 for me. So if I had gotten that, I probably would have been able to get my item and tier 2 boots. So I don't know, this is kind of awkward. I don't end up TPing. I should have just pushed bot lane here. Like, what am I gonna do? I show up to the play late. So this game goes from like very winnable to we're in a winning position to very losable, we're actually behind. And you could say it's like our 3 and 6 top laner, our 0 and 8 support, but really, it all stems from that one play where we died bot or top lane at the tier 2. If we hadn't gone for that play, game would have been in a much better state. The other thing I want to say is too, like I could be pushing their tier 2 tower right now and forcing someone to respond to me, but because I rotated to a play that was already lost, I'm just collecting side waves. So again, this is a mistake. Yeah. I think my two like biggest weaknesses as a player, my teamfight execution is usually pretty good. I think I should take probably sometimes I'm too selective with the fights that I'll take and I leave my teammates out to dry a little bit too much, right? Where I could be in winning fights and we don't end up winning them just because I play a little bit too safe, right? I think my laning is not good sometimes. Like, I actually have... I don't know. I think the laning phase matters a lot less than it used to, right? I used to, the first time I hit Masters in Season 10, laning was really, really important. Especially because as Kassadin, like, we were seeing bruisers mid and everything, and there's a bunch of people on Baron right now, so that's why we're rotating. I don't really know why we waited so long to respond to this. We were pinging it, but I just basically go see if I can catch someone rotating to mid. But they're all just gonna base. Nothing happens here, I don't think. Okay. Like, I could potentially flash ult on Blakey there, the Lucian. But I don't think anything comes from it. But anyway, as I was saying, in season, I want to say season 10, it was the season of the item rework. Uh, Laning phase mattered a lot more. And so in order to get master, I'd spend a lot of time like hyper focusing on every little aspect of laning. That did not happen at this point. I don't think it's like that anymore. Like a lot of times you can just focus on like mitigating the laning phase and you'll be completely fine as long as you don't lose too hard. And the other thing I think is sometimes my mid-game side laning is not good. I don't think I push up waves far enough. I think I'm too, I mean, it can be good in some games, but a lot of times what I'll do is I'll push waves up to like here, and then I'll go to rotate mid, or I'll push them up to here, and I'll go to rotate mid and look for picks, when I could be pressuring a lot more and drawing pressure for my team. Right, so what I'm going to do is rotate top here. Right, and this is a good example of like the dangers of dying on side lane, so even though she drew me, she traded 1 for 1, and she's their strongest member in the game, right? So now they don't have a snowball's chance in hell of winning a team fight. I don't like how I played this. Because I shouldn't have ulted forward there, because I'm completely right? The thing about Lux, you know what would have been a deranged play? When she uses this Q here, if I flash over it and I try and slow her, walk up and WQ and then ult, that would have been absolutely deranged. It probably would have worked, but there's also a really strong chance I die. We don't end up... yeah, I don't think we get the Lucian here. But yeah, I don't like that play. I should have let my ult reset, because I didn't have enough mana. And versus Lux, you need to... Like, level 16 Lux, I can literally just run her down. If I, have at least 2 ults. As you can see, right? It's hard for her to land her Q on me when I'm so mobile. So we base... we go Medgice and needlessly large rod because we're going to start building towards Rabadons this game. I don't know. I think I build Void Staff. Void Staff would have also been good here. I just wanted as much damage as possible, and they have one person building MR that I don't really care about. Right? Everyone else on the team doesn't really have too much MR. I think Kassadin, I know people like to joke about his AP ratios, but like he still has really strong AP ratios. He's not that... he's completely fine, you know? So... this is a really misplayed team fight. I don't know why I don't Zhonya's here, but I don't. Does it end up really mattering? Not really. Just because we have a 3-item smolder, but I like just forgot to Zhonya's. This is just stupidity. So we get stun. I think after... where I should have Zhonya's here is after this ult. I should have instantly Zhonya's. And the Zhonya's would have bought time for the Smolders to basically keep me alive through her damage. Yeah. That's my Medgice curse, right? I buy Medgice and instantly die. Which is not what you want. In terms of that team fight, I don't know. You can argue that it wasn't necessarily worth to ult flash, but I felt like something had to happen at that point, and I felt like Smolder was strong enough to carry the team fight. I just needed to help her get in range, right? So as long as they do damage to me and I can get damage off, for me that felt like a pretty good fight. Now this is one of my weirdest habits. I'll just like go mid, sit in a mid brush when I should be going side lane to get side lane pressure. A lot of times it ends up working. It's really weird. I don't think that's the greatest use of Zhonya's either. So I'm gonna base. Look to go bot to kill Fiora. And suddenly the game is a fucking disaster for them. They gave me too many random kills, they give Smolder too many random kills. She's 4 items now, she's 225 stacks. We're still looking good this game. Right? This is the other reason why I tell people never to FF. Right? Because this is... most of the people I talk to are playing in like Emerald, Platinum, Gold, Bronze, right? This is North American Master, right? Which obviously, you know, it's not the Chinese Super Server, it's not Korea, but every server, even in high elo, has like 10 billion throws a game. If people are throwing like this in my games, I'm sure your bronze games are winnable. Even if you get a little bit behind, right? People are too quick to FF. Got a death cap. I don't know if this is the greatest TP. I just wanted to get out on the map ASAP because Dragon was up, so we wanted the pressure. A blue buff would be nice because I'm going to be permanently clearing waves, and waves with super you kind of want to stack your R for. Now, I could get those 3 minions. I'm basically 6 items, level 18 though. I don't really necessarily need anything from them. I'm just going into the jungle to see if I can catch anyone out.
and defend for dragon, right? So now we're just pushing inside. You can do a lot of damage to towers. And this is what I mean. Like, I could just be hitting towers on side lanes, and there's not really much they can do, right? They can kill me if I overstay, but I'm level 60. Well, I'm level 18 Kassadin. I can just ult over the wall. I can permanently run away as long as I let my ult stacks reset. There's not really anything they can do to catch me out, unless I get hit by CC, which can happen, right? But as long as I'm playing smart, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I think I have like one more death in this game. I remember being super confused by the death. Okay, this is pretty smart by me. So I look up and I see the tower is literally 1 HP. So I auto W, and then it just goes down, right? That was a play I was a little bit proud of myself for, right? The only thing that sucks is I'm now completely and Morgana's chunked out. So I think I take a base here. No, I don't. I get the blue buff. The Voltaic Cyclosword on, oh, this is like the story of this game, though. They're just like permanently trying to catch out Morgana, and they kill her, but then their whole team dies to kill her. That's the story of this game. I think that might be game right here. No. No, I have one more death. I think that's mid-inhib. So I walk up to hit the tower, because I do a lot of damage to towers. As a level 18 Kassadin. I ult to dodge the Q. I don't know what the fuck that was. And then I think I go base. So I'm trying to be annoying here. Probably could have killed the Lux if that E landed. If any of those abilities hit, they were like right on the edge of range, the Lux dies. Okay, oh, this is my last death. This is so stupid. So I ult, I see Pantheon, and Pantheon somehow still has stun up. And I get stunned, and then Lux E autos me, right? And I was so confused as to what killed me. I didn't see the ability go off. I didn't see anything. The death right there is just really stupid. I shouldn't have followed the Urgot into battle. We have a 10 billion stack Smolder that we need to play around, and Smolder's in base. Even if we kill there, we're probably not going to get too much from it. I don't know if we had a wave. So it's just not really a point. Now, it kind of ends up being okay, and the reason it ends up being okay is because we have good vision behind them. And so... What do I buy? Why did I sell my Medjais? Oh, I go Banshees, because I don't want to get caught by CC. I think I'm fine with that, yeah. So what ends up happening is their team overextends a little bit into Smolder, and up on the map, because they feel super... like, you know, they just killed the level 16 Kassadin, but I can TP behind them and then just, this is the game-ending play. It's not really too much counterplay for them. After that, the game is just over. I'm pretty sure we end right here, yeah. I think they FF, though. Or do we just get the Nexus? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty all we need to do is not just like randomly int to the Fiora and it's fine. But yeah, It's a good game. I think there was a couple of good learning points. So, one, I could be a little bit more kind of aggressive in lane. Obviously, you don't want to miss as much free CS as I missed. The other two, thinking about how I use my life, like I just died for no reason 3 times and it almost threw the game. Like all 3 of my deaths this game were bad, right? So this is kind of what I mean when I look at score lines, where it's like, someone will be 20 kills, 9 deaths, or 20 kills, 10 deaths, 15 kills, 7 deaths when they're playing Kassadin. I am 11 and 3 this game. Most people would look at this and be like, hey, yeah, pretty good game. But even me, I'm looking at these deaths and I'm like, all of these deaths were stupid. There was no reason I should have had them in the way that I did. Like, it's one thing if I ult in a team fight or something, but if you are consistently experiencing more than 3 deaths on Kassadin, there's a problem in your gameplay everywhere. The other thing that I think really made this game hard was how I sidelined. So, like, when I was cross mapping here, maybe it was here. Whenever that dragon fight was. Here. No, this is when I'm dead. Whenever Fiora TP'd bot here for the dragon fight and Urgot was dead, and I pushed the wave all the way up to the tier 2, and I don't hit the tier 2 that's low HP. Like, it just didn't make any sense to me. I literally could have auto-attacked it twice and it probably would have died. And I missed out on 700 gold. But yeah, hopefully that was informative and you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out our stream. We've been streaming every Tuesday and Wednesday because those are my days off. But thank you guys and have a great day.